welcome to another episode of Bitcoin Wednesday, our favorite day of the week. Hope everybody's having a great day today. I see Vance is here, so let's bring him on in. The co-host of the show, the world famous Vance. How are we doing tonight?
Good, man.
You got to change your name. I got nothing good with these. I can't, Yeah. One of these days, one day you'll be here, Victory Vance or something, something good will happen. But it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Instead of hump day, it's more like a bump day. Everything goes down on Wednesday for us. I don't know what the deal is.
It's Christmas tree today. It's Christmas lights today.
Yeah, a couple of days before, it always looks good, and then all of a sudden it always dumps on us.
Yeah.
It gets close to Wednesday and starts dumping on us. What are we going to do? Getting used to it. But one of these days, every Wednesday, it's going to start going high, right?
We're going to get that run.
That's right. That's right. So I know you got some things to talk about or whatever. Let's take a look at the market cap.
Let's go through the market. I'll start sharing this so we have it out.
Yeah, go ahead, share, and let's see. I think I need to refresh this because this is not current. But we look at the market cap of cryptocurrency last week. It was at $205 billion. So I think it's up a little bit from there. Let's see, did that refresh? It's refreshing right now. I know we got up over 220 billion. And I think we're sitting, I should probably do this on my phone. Still waiting. 211 billion. So we're up for about $6 billion from last week. So every little bit that comes in helps. But like I said, I know we were at 220 or whatever just a couple days ago. So
yeah, it was like 222 or 223 or something like that.
Yeah, so we're a little bit sliding there a little bit. Bitcoin last week was at $6,218. It looks like we're sitting at 60. So it's actually gone up a little bit. I could have swore it was 6,400 a little bit ago. Mine says 6,545. That seem right? Must be, but
6,545.
Oops, wrong one.
I think you got the
on my phone. It says it on here too, but when I look at HODL, I don't think it's that high on.
They're definitely different, yeah.
Yeah, 64.49 on HODL. That says it's the Coinbase price online, which is surprising because the Coinbase price would be cheaper than the coin market cap. So maybe one of the markets or whatever is taking that a little bit higher or whatever. But I'm going to put that down, 65.43, because that's what I go off of. That leaves our Bitcoin dominance at 53.7%. So that's up a little bit. Last week was 53.3, but it's still very high. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I got to look back to June when it was in the 30s, 39% there in the middle of June. So it's up quite a bit from there. I'd like to get it back down again. Put some money in the market and get it back down again. But that's our numbers. That's our numbers for this week. If you're joining in with us, thanks for joining in. If you've got any questions, go ahead and leave a comment, and we'll put you up on the screen and see if we can answer your questions for you. And if you got anything to discuss or whatever, we will do our best. So,
yeah. But you've got to come to the Crypto Millionaire Club page. Even though we post this up in a lot of groups, you still got to come to the page to be on the live chat. So.
Get that up there.
All right, we're shared.
Right on. Crypto Millionaires Club page to join in. Okay, so yeah, I'm just looking at that. I'm a little surprised it says 65.43, but it's funny when you look at the chart. I mean, the chart is just right across the board. And then all of a sudden we got a pretty good spike up to 65, 6,600 or whatever. And it's just been staying steady there the last few days or so, I think. So,
yeah.
Very, very interesting. The market's been a lot of it's just kind of been all over the place. It's been pretty red the last was it yesterday or this morning or whatever? It was pretty red. Starting to see a little bit of green.
Yeah, this morning we saw some red, some drops. Let's see here. I need to refresh. I had it up earlier, but okay. So Bitcoin's down a little bit. It's still flat. Ethereum's down 1%. Yeah, but it's been flat too. Still $207. Wow.
Well, that's the thing. It's down a little bit, but that's just in the 24-hour period. A couple of days ago, it was back at 200 or a little bit less than that, wasn't it?
Yeah. If you look at those little 7-day graphs to the side, it shows how things had bumped up quite nicely and then have come back down a little bit.
Right. So even though, we're showing the red on some things or a little bit of green on some of these, they're just barely
bounced around.
Stellar, I noticed, had jumped up quite. I mean, it was hovering around 20 cents, and it's now at 24 cents. So it's got a pretty good little gain for itself.
Yeah, Stellar had some really good gains.
Yeah,
and
Tether.
So didn't Cardano.
Go ahead.
It's Tether.
Tether is funny because it's been 97 cents or so, and that's usually you're seeing Tether at 101 or 99 cents, not much difference. So
they've just been killed in the news though.
Yeah. So to see it be below that, that's interesting. Maybe it might be a good buy some Tether and then wait for it to go back up to $1, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking for your little
short gains, day
savings, savings account interest. Right.
Yeah. Savings account interest. True.
It's probably better than a savings account, to be honest. So
the way the stock market is, yeah.
Let's see. Monero's really flat.
Tron's flat. Everything's really. That's what you say. The stuff that's dipped, it's dipped a little, but it's still very flat.
Yeah. Still a lot of good prices to get in on a lot of these things.
Yeah, I mean,
so we jumped down there to
Neo's up. They've maintained.
Jump down there to 22, and you've got Ox 0x, I think is what it's called, newly listed on Coinbase.
Yeah, they had like a 24% run when that happened.
Yeah, they were like a 5-cent coin or something, weren't they?
Yeah, let's see here. I'm pulling up the chart because that was actually
not a 5 cent. Not a 5 cent. That was wrong.
Like 50 cents, somewhere around there. Yeah. Let's see here, because that was a week ago when they got listed. So they jumped from 60 cents up. It spiked them up to 86 cents, from 60 cents to 86 cents, right? When that announcement, and then it slowly just kind of tapered down. I mean, it's maintained higher, and then today it really boosted up over $1. So they bumped early this morning over $1, and then now they're sitting back at 87 cents again. So there's some resistance there that's holding it. So positive resistance, it's holding it. But I think they're kind of the same. It's just where's the market, where's the bull run coming from? That's going to really move it. It'll give it some more wings, air under its wings to get it going.
116 million volume in the last 24 hours. So
yeah. Well, I think it's starting to become more aware that it's actually on Coinbase now.
Right.
I don't think that was kind of quiet, to tell you the truth. I only saw a few little things about it. Yeah.
Not a big announcement at all.
The OX or OX, how are they? 0x.
0x is the name of the actual company.
0x, yeah. I don't have any, but basically that they were put onto Coinbase, it was kept relatively quiet. I didn't see a lot of this is there, go buy it, or watch this or anything. I mean, it had been on the list for a while, for a long time actually. It's been on the list all summer of one of the 5 coins that were supposed to be listed. So
you'd kind of think that Coinbase would have made an announcement or whatever, but I haven't seen an announcement from them. Everything I've seen has just been from users or whatever saying that it's on there now. So
yeah, I actually saw one article on that, and it was on, I can't remember where the article's at, I think it was like on Bitcoin Daily or something like that, which is a website that you can get news, like daily crypto news. But I think I saw an article from them, and that was it.
Huh. It shows that I just looked up the markets and stuff, and it's 0x is doing $50 million on Binance, but number 2 is on Coinbase at almost $20 million on Coinbase. So that's definitely helped them right there. I don't understand what it's calling it Coinbase Pro. Have you heard it referred to that lately? I've never heard it referred to that.
I don't know. Is that their professional investor side?
Maybe.
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Never seen it like that.
There's a link. I just clicked on the link. Let's pull it up. I'm pulling up on a different screen here. But
they're on 97 exchanges too. 97 exchanges.
Looks like that's their traditional platform.
The Coinbase Pro?
Yeah. That's a traditional day trader platform, the way that's set up. It's set up, looks like Binance. That's what that looks like.
I know that Coinbase is looking to, really make a move and add a bunch of coins.
Yeah. But you can see where, though, the pairing, though, where all that money's coming from on Coinbase.
US dollar.
Is the US dollar. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Which, that's the nice thing about Coinbase is you can get on and buy with fiat,
Yep.
So anybody that gets on there is going to get
still
a boost.
rules, it looks like, they're always at the peak, so.
Yeah, 50 million, that's a lot. A lot.
Yeah, it is.
So then they've even and then number 5 is still almost 5 million or 4.5 million on Coinbase is the 0x Bitcoin pairing.
Right.
So
people are buying over from Bitcoin.
Yeah. So 20
that they've been holding. So it's people that have been holding Bitcoin on
Coinbase or buying
and are buying it. Yeah.
So good for them. Good for them. What else we got in here that's looking so funny because I'm seeing a bunch of these coins that a year ago I wanted to buy a bunch of them and they were at these prices and then all of a sudden I missed out. I know 50 cents, 51 cents or something. Wasn't
51 cents and it's up 3% and that's up 3% today.
Yeah.
But
part of me wouldn't mind having a little of that, you just never know what's going to happen, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of these that I'd like to have a little bit of, but I don't know. I was looking at Scicoin again.
Bought that before. I bought and sold out, and we were in the dollars,
Yeah, I was looking at Scicoin a little bit, and was I was just looking at it this morning, thinking, okay, it's at just over 0.5 cent right now, and what did it get up to? It got up to 9 cents last year.
That's number 38. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like these coins that got up where they were are going to repeat that at some point and probably go beyond.
Well, we're looking at, we know where they're at just when the market goes on a bull run, a normal, regular bull run from last year, our regular bull run from last year, I should say, and we're really down now. But this is where they were at when we knew how much money was in the market. So we can kind of gauge on where it's going to be again when that money comes back, where these are going to be sitting.
Right.
But Scicoin SC, boy, they sure went on a run the beginning of this year, didn't they?
But you look at, you compare Scicoin to Electronium, for instance, and it was at 0.5 cent, and then all of a sudden a little boost, and you're up to 2 pennies, 2.5 cents. You're 5 times your
3. We're almost at 3.
Almost at 3. Yeah. So do I believe Scicoin can hit 9 cents again? Yeah, I do think it can. I like it. That's why I bought it. And I'm half tempted to buy a little bit more of it. It's
exactly
cheap right now. In fact, I'm trying to think what I have. Yeah, I mean, I've only got 25,000 coins right now, but that's only $170. I could double that pretty easy.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're still in that buying power, phase of the market right now. That's what's so crazy about this is that we're still. I mean, it is October. This is where the bull run was really starting to happen last year. It's really when things started taking off was October last year. So, that's where there's a lot of anticipation right now because of that, thinking, oh, we're going to be back in that again this year, right? But I don't know. There's a lot of new players in the game this year that we didn't have last year, and some of the bigger players that we had last year are not here, like China. So I think that's where we'd be seeing a lot of difference of the Chinese government would actually, bow out for a little bit. I mean, and let people back in there. We would see that we would see the market return instantly with some of that stuff, but there wouldn't be as much manipulation going on as we keep seeing. So I think where we're at again is it's just last buy. It's this last big buy for the big investors to be able to get in cheap before they let it go and just let it run up. So, yeah.
And they're doing everything they can to get people like you and me, you and I, to sell and just, it's over, it's done. They just want to do everything they can to discourage you and spread FUD and make you just think, yep, it's not going to happen. Better move along to something else. Because this is exactly what they did during the internet phase, .com stage, and people were early on selling. They were selling their AOL stock and a couple of these different stocks that thought, oh, they're going to be huge. They're going to be huge, and they convinced them that no, it was going down. Everything was going down, and so people sold out, maybe made a little bit of money or didn't lose all their money.
Yeah.
And then what happened? They kicked it up and those stocks went up like crazy. And the institutions and bankers and things like that were smart enough to buy them up, made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of money. So,
but it is interesting though. I mean, right now, we keep seeing this down. We see it up and that little bit, and then suddenly we hit this resistance and it comes back down. Now, why does it come back down? Either people are selling quick to get out because only they've made a little bit of money, right? So they're selling quick to get out, and then hopefully it runs back down, right? And they can pick it up again. So there is some method to the madness when this happens, okay? Of why people are in and out, because there are guys that are day trading this with a lot of money, and when you see those swings, it's because they're in and out, and the market is still so fresh and so new that it doesn't know what to do when it's being treated like the stock market. That's really what it comes down to. On the other hand, you see manipulation too, where people are buying, or institutions or large groups are buying at very cheap.
Right.
And then when it goes up, it starts going up a little bit. They're like, oh, we need to be able to buy back in. So what do? They sell a little bit. They don't sell a lot. They're still holding everything that they've got. They're not selling it, even though they've made a little bit of money in it. They're just turning around and they're selling tiny pieces off, tiny Satoshis off. That's all they're doing. They're selling tiny Satoshis off at minimal price. Okay. So whatever the price may be, I mean, okay, we go in there and we look at whatever it is. Let's look at Ethereum, $200. Okay. So they're turning around, they're selling it for 180, just a little bit less than what the market is calling for at the time. Okay. So people start to buy that. Then what happens is on those exchanges where they're selling that cheap, well, now the average on that exchange is going down of what it's being sold. Okay. And so when you go in here and you look at the coin market cap and you go in and you click on the price. So if I go in and click on the XRP price right now, I can go and look at all the markets and see what it's trading at, what the price is trading at on all those markets. And we can tell that they're not the same. Okay. So let's go in here. Binance is selling for 47.6 cents. Okay. But then you go to BitBank and they're selling it for 47 cents. So where'd that half cent go to? Right? Because someone's selling it cheaper on there to try and bring down the market. But if you look, those are the largest markets right now. That's where the most is that's happening right now, are in those particular markets. Okay, so if someone's selling for cheaper on the larger markets, well, someone else that may be smaller, like you or me, that isn't an institutional, buyer, seller, or day trader type of deal, or a large group, basically go, well, how much can I sell it for? Because I just saw it dip, so I'm not going to be able to sell it for the full 47.5 cents. I got to sell it for 47 cents. Right. And the price keeps going down because now you're selling. Now the new stable's been made. I'm selling for 47 cents. So what are they going to do? They're going to come back in and sell a tiny amount again for 46.5 cents. Get you on another half cent. Right. Or if they're just going to keep pushing it down like that, basically until they can get in at a price they want to buy at. And then as soon as they do that, the price runs back up again, because why? They stop selling at a low amount. A low price. But that's how manipulation works. That's how we've seen it in the past. But anyway,
that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're trying to scare you to sell the coin, and you start seeing it go down. You think, oh, I better hurry and sell while I'm up a little bit, or before it goes too much. And next thing you know, you sell, and
then they count on the FUDers to come out. That's the thing. Because everybody goes, why is it going down? Why is it going down? Well, it's because people are selling it, right? And then because people are selling it, the price starts to dip a little bit, and then the manipulators come in and sell it for a little bit less than that and try and drive the price down a little bit more so they can get a better discount. And then everybody's freaking out. Why is it going down? Why is it going down? Is Bitcoin dead? No, it's not dead. But then all the FUDers come out. Oh man, I knew this was going to happen. They're all silent when we're running up in a bull run. Or these little runs up, they're really silent on the weeks that we're doing that. And then when things turn and we see some red out there, oh boy, they sure like to speak up, don't they? We see them. We see them in all the forums. We see them everywhere. All the little guys the jockeys, the computer screen jockeys, the Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but basically your keyboard heroes out there that think that they can say whatever they want because they're hidden behind a screen, whatever. They're all cowards. It doesn't really matter. But the fact is, there's guys out there that just love to be negative. They love to spread FUD. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Sky is falling type of deal. And then what happens? The big boys, they love it when you guys do stuff like that. Absolutely love it, because then it drops the price down for them even more. They don't have to be selling stuff at discount. You run it down for them even more, and then they can buy it again.
Yeah. And it was interesting how quiet Electronium boards were and stuff when it was going from half a cent to 3 cents.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those people where were they then? They're all shut up now. That now they're back a little bit, saying, "I told you it's coming back down. It's coming back down." Well, that's
it's funny. The Electronium community page too, and I'm not promoting them at all because they're absolutely just filled with FUD. But the Electronium group,
the new page. The new group, or I
don't know what
or just the Facebook one.
I just remember the old Electronium community
group on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah, I actually got kicked out of it for calling out the admins because they just suck. But I mean, that's the problem is they got 25,000 followers in there and they don't monitor anything, and they just let the guys go rampant on FUD. And then I would call them out, and then I'm the one who gets in trouble because I offended somebody by saying stop putting FUD out here. And I got booted. So I know quite a few other guys out there that got booted too, that are admins on other groups. And it's just because they were like, nah, I'm not dealing with this anymore. But yeah, the Electronium FUD community, that's what I used to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless you got a trophy for everyone, you're just going to have to keep your mouth shut.
Yep. Participation trophies and snowflakes. There we go. we don't want to melt the snowflakes. So,
what are the other things, with the market staying a little bit lower and stuff too, I believe is, a lot of people bought in January and December. They FOMO'd into it and they bought at high prices and things like that. So let's say you're into Electronium at 20 cents and it goes way down. Well, maybe, if you're smart, you're maybe trying to cost average, so if you bought at 20 cents and it came down to 10 cents and you bought more, now your average cost is 15 cents. Right. Oh, dang, now it's down to half a penny. Let me buy some more. They buy it at half a penny. It goes up to 3 pennies. They hurry and sell some because they're trying to recoup. They're still trying to recoup their original investment. that they're worried about now.
True, but you got to look at this too and go, why would I sell from 0.5 cent to 3 cent when I bought in at 8 cents and I'm upside down on that? Why not just keep it and let it keep going? You know, I wouldn't sell out immediately. I'd keep holding that, because then your cost average is way. I mean, you're going to make a lot more back on the stuff that you bought at 8 cents, on more than the stuff that you bought at 8 cents with the stuff that you're buying at 3 cents or 0.5 cent.
But let's say, you know, because the market's volatile and stuff, and let's say I bought $500 at 8 cents, and now it's at 0.5 penny, and I buy $5,000. I'm going to buy $1 million. I'm going to buy 1 million coins for $5,000 because it only has to go to a penny to double my money. Right. Well, I double my money at 1 penny. Now I've got $10,000. I just made up for that $500 I spent.
Are you saying you're pulling your 500 out at that point in time to recoup? Basically, you're just trying to recoup that $500 you were upside down with.
I might pull that. You know, of course, if I bought at 20,000 and I spent a couple of $1,000s, yeah, you could easily be putting money in, and you know, and if you put $5,000 in, next thing you know, 3 pennies, you're at $30,000. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if I'd have done that, you know, and we got there, then that might be worth taking some out to make up for that, you know. And the thing is, at the same time too, if you're one of these guys that bought in when it was higher and you're like, what should I sell to try and get back into ETN? I think ETN is going to be really good, you know. And let's say you bought a Bitcoin at 10,000, okay, and now it's sitting at, was it 6,600? 65. Yep. 65. Like 6,600. Yeah, somewhere right around there, right? Would you sell out of the Bitcoin to buy Electronium? No.
That's a
well. I don't know.
I wouldn't touch any. Let's put it this way. Other than the fact if I could dump some titanium, maybe you know, I would try and do it. But let's just say any coin that I'm holding right now, would I take the chance, because it is low? Some stuff I did buy high, a lot of stuff I didn't. A lot of stuff has been holding since last year, so I bought at really good rates, right? But would I sell some Bitcoin maybe that I bought in higher to try and get into more Electronium, knowing that I can make a lot more on Electronium going up 2 cents, because I'm buying at 2 cents, than Bitcoin that I bought at 10,000 and I got to wait till I hit the 20,000. Okay. Now, because I've been asked this question before, what would I do? Would I sell out the Bitcoin? Question. Yeah, it is a legitimate, because where am I going to do this? Well, here's my number one go-to answer is never sell anything that's upside down. I would not sell anything, especially Bitcoin. Okay. Because we know where Bitcoin's going to be headed in the future. I would never touch Bitcoin. Now, when I look at some of my other investments and go, maybe some of these aren't as good of a buy as I wanted, and I'm upside down 50% in it, what should I sell it? You know, I still don't even know about that, because there is the chance that it's going to come back when the market comes back, right? So my big go-to is, what do you have around the house that you can put on OfferUp or Coinbase or what? And I was going to say Backpage, but Backpage ain't around anymore. So, but Craigslist. Yeah, anything that eBay. I mean, what do I have around the house that might be worth a value that I don't need, right? Do I have an old grill out back that I could sell? Yeah, do something like that. Get $100 or $200 out of it, right? $200 when Electronium's at 2 cents goes a long way. Yeah, I mean that'll still get you in, and you can buy in a lot more than if you were buying at 8 cents, right? To make up that difference. So that's kind of how I look at it. If anybody ever tells me, I'm like, what do you have around the house you can sell to make a little bit of extra money on the side? Or what's a service maybe that you have that you can do on the side to make a little extra cash, right? If you're good at video editing or something like that, go find a little gig to get some extra money on the side doing something like that. But
there's lots of things. I mean, I know a lot of people go give plasma. You make a few $100s a month giving plasma, you know?
Exactly.
If you want to buy more coins or whatever, there's all kinds of things.
There's all these little things, that you can do to make up some extra money. A little bit of time, right? Yeah. So, but I am very hesitant about selling any of the coin that I do own, any of the crypto that I do own, thinking that I need to sell this and put it into something else, because I think if you start down that road, you're going to end up in the hole in the long run. Yeah, you're going to end up in the hole in the long run, just because you're going to be going, oh, I need to move this over here, but I'm already negative. I wouldn't be selling anything like that. I'd just be holding anything that you've got.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Bitcoin as well. You know, if you were to sell that upside down and to buy something, and let's say you bought Electronium and you ended up doing well with it or whatever, and you wanted to buy back into Bitcoin. Well, at that point, Bitcoin might be worth $50,000. Maybe you and are you going to be able to get a Bitcoin again? I think right now, and we've listened to a lot of different things. You know, right now, the opportunity to own a Bitcoin and to hold it, it's probably a long-term hold, but maybe in a few years it might be worth $500,000 or something.
Right.
You just don't know yet.
Right.
So you're not going to get that you're not going to get a quick gain on. You're not going to double your money quickly on Bitcoin like you could have with Electronium or 5 times it. But we know there's a limited supply. We know it's going to run out. We know the price is going to keep going up. So if you've got time or just want to hang on to it, it'd be hard to give up that Bitcoin, I think.
Yeah. I'd probably say that same thing about Ethereum and Litecoin. I just would not sell them to invest, even though I know they're down, and Ethereum is really down. I mean, Ethereum was what last year at their peak was 1,200, and we're down
almost
to almost
1,400, I think.
And we're at 200 now. That's a huge drop. You got to understand, Bitcoin's still at 30% of where it was peaked at last year. Okay.
Right.
So you're down a negative, whatever, 70% or whatever, how that is negative percentage. But anyway, it's even with Ethereum being at $200 right now, and it was almost at $1,400. That's way more than a 70% loss. Okay. I mean, that's, you're looking at quite a bit less than what you were, than what you would have been in. That's like 140% loss, or however that works. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't sell it just because the value is too small right now. So say you bought in at $700, Ethereum at $700, and you're down to $200 now. I wouldn't get out of it. Not at all. That's easily one I'd probably buy more of, just to pad it back out, because there is a lot of projects behind Ethereum. So there's a lot of movement behind them. So I would keep that one.
And it's still the number 2 coin. I mean, I'm the perfect, I sold my Verge and I got 4 or 5 Ethereum, and then I bought the titanium and lost most of it, but I still have still have 1.5 Ethereum or whatever, just in my, because I don't really do anything with it. But, now it's like, I really ought to buy another 1 or 2, just to throw in there, because it will go back up. And it's super low right now. It should be a lot higher than it is. And same with Litecoin. And Litecoin is super cheap, I think.
Yeah, $50. The Lightning Network coming out too. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those I wouldn't. The max supply. How many? What's this? Dang it! What's circulating supply? Circulating supply is at 58 million right now.
Yep.
And their max is 84 million. So again, higher than Bitcoin, right? I mean, it's 4 times higher than Bitcoin, but it still has so much potential, especially with their payment. Their Lightning Network that's coming out, and everything. So that's where I would kind of be looking. I don't remember what's the total supply for Ethereum. It's not showing up on CoinMarketCap for some reason. But their circulating supply is 102 million right now.
Right.
So
did you sorry to go off the subject a little bit, but speaking of Litecoin, and did you happen to see a interview with Charlie Lee and Roger Ver?
I heard about. I haven't seen it. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
He's with Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a real. He's a real. I don't know if I can say that on here what he is, but I was like, no wonder people hate you, dude. You're an idiot. You're a jerk. I mean, he was a major jerk to Charlie Lee, and it was quite interesting. But we'll see.
And this is from someone who did a fork of another project, who didn't have one himself. He just did a fork of somebody else's.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie Lee is as smart as they come.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a pretty smart guy, and he handled it really well. But I just thought, man, I do not want any Bitcoin Cash because I don't want anything to do with that guy.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah, true. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I like to watch Litecoin. I don't do anything with Bitcoin Cash whatsoever, even though I see them in the news a lot, talking about payment systems, things like that. So I mean, they got a lot going on. I just don't have any.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, that's just me. I just don't have any. So, but it's number 4 slot.
Yeah, it's done well. I mean, and it's it's at 450 right now. What did it get up to? A couple thousand last year or something, didn't it?
I thought it was 1,200, but
didn't it hit? Oh, okay, I thought it hit higher. It
may have. I just remember when the fork came out and everybody was trying to get theirs, right? Because it was free money basically. But their peak, they were 4,000.
I was gonna say they got up there quite a ways.
$4,091 was their peak.
Yeah.
So they've fallen. Wow, they've fallen.
Yeah. So is it possibly? Well, if it goes back to where it was, that's a 10 times gain.
Yeah.
So it's it's all happened. It's the same as everything else. It's happened right here in January when it peaked, and then it has continued to go down.
But they've fallen more than Ethereum. If you think about it.
Oh yeah.
They've fallen way more than Ethereum.
Yep. So will it recover? I don't know. I would assume yes.
There's enough going behind Bitcoin Cash that I don't see them having a problem, to tell you the truth.
There's too many good coins that are a lot cheaper than that, though, that I could buy some more, accumulate more in, and have a bigger upside, in my opinion. So, other than Bitcoin, I mean, I think that's
I'll
keep what I got there and
go play the Electronium penny stocks.
That's right. We're looking for the pink sheets here.
The pink sheets. That's right. Even though I don't consider Electronium the pink sheets, they've been down on that price.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know, guys.
When you drop out of that 100, out of the top 100, those kind of start looking like pink sheets to me. But
they do, and it's hard to stay there. It's hard to stay positive, as we know.
Yeah.
It's very hard to stay positive when you're down that much. So, I don't know. It's interesting, but I mean, Electronium, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got the KYC. I've seen a lot of FUDsters coming out about that and everything. Oh, it's not decentralized anymore, blah, blah, blah. But we know here in the U.S. anyway, anybody who lives in the U.S. and is trying to get on exchanges everywhere in the world, basically, they have to do KYC according to U.S. law now, the government law here, that you have to do KYC. So it really doesn't matter. Same with ICOs. If you're doing a new ICO, you have to be compliant with U.S. regulations, which means you pretty much got to be doing KYC. So for us, Electronium doing KYC, that's nothing new. No. They are the first coin basically who's fully accepting KYC, but they're really not the first coin to be doing KYC, especially with the new rules this year that came out with ICOs and everything. You have had to been doing it anyway. Okay.
Right.
Now, whether those ICOs have got any push behind them like Electronium, that's a completely different story. But yeah, any of us that go and use Binance or Coinbase or any of those that are legal here, I've heard guys talk about BitMEX. I don't care about BitMEX because why? You can't buy fiat on BitMEX. It's only an exchange that you can do futures on. That's it. Who cares? Seriously, who cares? There's too many other ones out there already, even though BitMEX seems to be a big one. So what? If you're in the US, you can't get on it anyway, unless you're using an ISP or VPN. I mean, not an ISP, but a VPN to try and hide who you are. Basically, it's the only way you're gonna get in there and do that. So, are you skirting the rules? Yeah, you get caught. That could be very negative for you. But anyway,
and you might lose everything you have and don't have any claim to anything because they run off to it with it.
Right, because you said you were from somebody. You were someone who's from somebody else, somewhere else. Okay. So basically that's kind of where I stand on KYC. So what? That's where everything's going. And if that gets us on to big accounts,
big deals,
right. Basically any time of these partnerships come along that Els is talking about, at which we're supposed to see some huge ones coming, within the next month here, hopefully after this KYC has been complete. I don't care. I absolutely don't care. As long as it's making me money, I don't care. And I know a lot of people will say, well, that's not what the technology is for. The technology is going to be used in completely different ways than we're looking at it right now. This is the start of it. This is getting people's interest into it, because why? I can do this decentralized. Well, I can do this privately. Well, you could. Silk Road kind of screwed that up for you. Sorry. But that's not going to really be the case going forward, and governments aren't going to let that happen. There has to be some responsibility behind it for them to allow it to stay. So you are going to have to do some KYC, whether that's through Electronium, Coinbase, whatever. You're still going to have to do it to be a trader, just like you would on a stock exchange somewhere. Okay, it's still going to happen.
And the fact is, they're not making you do KYC. They've given you plenty of time. You can move it to the paper wallet. You can move it to exchanges. And when it goes up, you can sell it. You can do whatever you want with it. The reason for the KYC is to be in your Electronium wallet online, so that you can be able to spend it and work with the instant payment system and stuff like that.
Right.
But you do not have to, just because they're coming out with it doesn't mean if you've got 1 million of these things or whatever, you can put them offline. You do not have to do KYC. So people, when they are saying, "Oh, they're forcing us to do this," and I'm just going to, well, if you don't like it, sell them and get out. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, that's to use their network. You're doing KYC to use Electronium's network. That's the difference on this. If you're going to move it to an exchange, well, guess what? For you and I, since we live in the US, we have to still do KYC on that exchange. Okay.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if we're going to put it here or put it there. It's just less risky to keep it in the Electronium wallet than it is to put it on exchange and run the risk of actually being hacked in a different country somewhere. Okay. Right. So that's why for us, it doesn't really matter. Now, if you're you got your tinfoil hat, you don't want the government spying on you, whatever, then great. Go put it in a paper wallet and put it in a safe somewhere and no one will ever know. And then when you die, guess what? It's all lost anyway.
Oh, and that was a whole show for us. And guess what? We're about running out of time.
Well, I kind of wanted to segue into this. So some articles came out this week, and it's something that I've actually been thinking about and I've been doing with my family here for the last couple of months. Okay. And it's what would happen if, God forbid, I die, right? I pass away. Who gets my investments? How do they claim my investments? And how do you protect basically your fortune for your family? Okay. So, and this article that came out talked about this man who had died back in April of this year and had close to 500 million worth of XRP. It's gone. It's lost. His family can't get it because he didn't give his keys to anybody. He didn't give access to the account to anybody, to his wallet. Okay. So here's the thing. We talk about all the time, be safe, be safe, be safe. Control your keys to the wallets, whatever you're doing, control it so that you can't be hacked. Well, there is so much control on things that, guess what? Your family can't legitimately go and get access to that anymore. Okay.
Right. So
Brian and I talk about this. We've been really good about being able to keep passwords, keys, and things like that safe. Now, I don't know what Brian does with his family. I can let you know what I do. I have a sibling and a parent that have access to my accounts. They have the passwords. They have everything. They even have the password to my phone to get in, because why? Your tier 2 authentication. That 2A, was it the 2FA? AF, whatever, 2FA, your Google authentication, right? You're still going to have that to get in. So they are going to need your phone. They got to have access to your phone somehow. Okay. And this is just for normal exchanges. This is even for Electronium wallet. You've got to have that, because I have 2FA set up on my Electronium wallet. So you've got to have my phone to log into it, because you got to get Google authentication. Okay. So here's we can talk about this a little bit more in depth, but this is good food for thought. How would you, if you haven't already, how would you go about preparing your crypto for your family, your kids, your wife, your whatever, your extended family, someone that can actually gain access to this in case something happened to you, if you're traveling and something happens to you? Okay. How would you go about doing this? Because why? If you've never told them about it, you've never given them any information about it, it's lost, completely lost, because security is too high on crypto these days. It's gone. No one will ever recover it. And we hear about all the time how 25% of all Bitcoin that's out there is lost. It's in wallets that'll never be recovered because people have lost track of it, don't remember what it was because it was 5 years ago, back in 2014. It's gone.
Correct.
Okay. So how do you go about protecting yourself and your family with this? So I kind of want you to think about that. I have an idea in my head how I'm going to do this. The problem is it doesn't work for Electroneum right now. Okay. And so basically like we've talked about before, I've invested in a Ledger Nano. I've got a Ledger Nano S. Okay. And it's set up on my computer because you have to set it up on your computer to do it, but it is a hard wallet. Okay. You can take this, go throw it in a safe deposit box somewhere, and it's safe. Nothing's ever going to happen to it. Your stuff's safe on there. Okay. But you still got to have your keys. There's a 24-word passphrase to get into this and your login on a computer. Okay. So basically you need to keep that stuff together and keep it safe. Okay. So thinking about that, you can put you can basically take the top 10, any of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, and they're on this. They're available to store on this, on this cold storage. Okay. But you've got to have either a Windows OS 9 compatible computer to access it, or a Windows 8, Apple OS 9 or Windows 8. Sorry, get that straight there for a second to do this. So I've been thinking about it. What's the easiest, the simplest, the cheapest way to be able to do this? Okay. Because these nano ledgers run you about $60, $70 for the cold storage. Okay.
On a note, don't buy a used nano ledger.
Never buy used. Yeah. Never buy used when it comes to this.
There are a lot of scams out there, and people can take your passcodes and take everything you've got on your wallet. So just buy brand new from Ledger only.
Sorry. Okay. So basically that $60, $70 new from Ledger online. Okay. What's the option? But you've got to have a PC or something to be able to access this. Well, me going and looking, okay, a Windows 8 or a Windows 10 a tablet basically will still work as long as it's got a USB connection on the side to connect to your Ledger. Okay. Well, those I went and looked here in the US, at least in where I live, kind of West Coast area. You can go to a place like Fry's Electronics, which is the same thing as going to Best Buy. Okay. But Fry's Electronics is much larger, gigantic warehouse. You go in there. I have found the Lenovo Windows 10 tablets with USB port on them that run $99. Okay. And they're small. They have a keyboard on them that folds up and everything. I'm thinking, because in my mind, what can I put into a safe? Something small enough to fit into a safe, not a big home PC, right? Or a small safe deposit box in a bank that you could put the stuff together and keep stored. Okay. So here's the thing. You get that. You take your little box that has all your instructions, actually keeps a card in it that has the 24-word passphrase in it that's in this. It comes with it, okay? And your little cables and everything are all in there. What I would do is store everything on your Ledger, your Nano, okay? And you have everything installed, of course, on this little Windows 10 tablet, okay? $100. And it's not that big. It will fit right into a safe deposit box with this. Okay. So that's for your top 10 coins. That's if you're really investing into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and any of the ERC20 coins are on this, by the way. Okay. So it will link into your My Ether wallet and it will transfer all your ERC20 coins onto there. So that's thousands of coins that are out there that if you think are big, you can put on there. XRP is available on there. So all the big coins are available on this. EOS, Stellar, they're all on there. Okay. Monero, they're all on there. The only thing that's not that I own is Electronium, unfortunately. But we've kind of talked about a way around this. You have the ability to do paper wallets. Paper wallets, because it is just a piece of paper, you could put with this in to a safety deposit box. And then whether you have a family trust, whatever it is, that stuff needs to be available. The logins, passwords, someone in your family needs to be able to have access to this basically afterwards. But this is the safest way to do this and still let your family be able to access it. They just got to be able to access the tablet. The phrase is in there with it, so they can log in with the phrase and recover it if they needed to. But all they need to know is your password onto the tablet to be able to hook up your ledger, and you're ready to go. They can access that. Okay. There's not exchanges. There's not 2FA or, there's none of that stuff to get in with a phone, all this stuff to do this. This is the simplest way I've been able to think of keeping everything safe and still the easiest way for family to be able to get in and do this. So if you do have a family trust that can be left into where you have a lawyer that deals this, the lawyer would, as long as they've got a copy, anybody in that trust that's going to be runner up to you would be able to have access to this. Okay. So just as me brainstorming how I'm going to be able to do this with my family. Okay. I don't know about you, Brian, but
here's another thought. Because like I said, we've talked about it a little bit, and I've always told, I have my stuff in a safe. I've written down, I've got my passwords. I've got it all, mostly organized pretty much. I still got a few more things to put in there, but for the most part, my wife knows if something happens that I have that in there, and she needs to contact you, Vance, because she's not going to know how to do anything, and we talked about this. Your mom, she might have access to this stuff, but is she really going to know how to
oh no, she knows I need to call Brian to help me out with this if something happens. So, she knows she's got access to everything now.
Right.
I mean, she does. She has access to everything to be able to, the passwords, everything. She's got copies of everything. Okay.
But knowing how to move it around and do whatever, then
she's going to have to call you to do that because she is retired and older, but she is into technology and she's invested herself. I've helped her invest herself into crypto, and so she is right along there with us.
So I think I think it's good. I mean, in our case, we have each other that, if something happens, our family members can, we're going to help out, however we can, that type of thing.
But you still got to have all the correct passwords, logins, all that information still needs to be safe somewhere so that they can do it. Once they do get help from, say, you to help my parents or my sister or someone to be able to do this, they've still got to have all the access, or you're no help for them, So that's what I'm saying. You got to have all this in very secure locations that is accessible to everybody so that they can use it. Because if you're missing a password,
you're out of luck.
And by the way, email guys, every time. Okay. I mean, I don't know who uses Gmail, Yahoo Mail, whatever. Okay. Your email is your recovery for a lot of these things. That your email address. Does your family have access to your email? How would they know how to get into your Google Mail account to do this, or your Outlook account? Your OWSE, whatever it is, Outlook Web. If you've got email through that, would they be able to access this to reset a password if you didn't have a password, or you forgot to write down your updated password? Think about that. How often do you update passwords on email accounts or just accounts in general?
Right.
How often do you do that? I have to, with work, I'm required to do a lot of that stuff. So I'm always changing stuff, and I always have to go back in to where I've kept all this stuff written down and go change that so that someone will know this is the password I've got to use. But in the case that you didn't, would someone have access to your email to be able to reset a password? You got to think there's quite a few different moving parts on this. So that's why I'm saying, what's the easiest way to be able to store this and have access to it, especially if you're just holding it. You're not doing day trading. You don't care about that stuff. Okay. You're just buying and holding, buying and holding, buying and holding. This is going to be it right here.
And that's the best. That's the best thing right there. Get them moved onto that Ledger Nano or whatever device you decide to use, and get them off the exchanges, because I know, Vance, you've got more than 10 exchanges probably you're signed up with.
Oh yeah.
It's, if something were to happen with you, that creates almost a nightmare trying to find out everything. It's overwhelming and stuff. And so if you've just got a little bit here and a little bit there, and it were lost, probably not a big deal. If you've got everything on your exchange and you die and that's lost, it's lost forever.
Yeah.
It's gone.
And we don't want to be negative about this at all. Okay. Because no one wants to have to think about their mortality. No one wants to think about what's going to happen to me if I die, right? Who's going to benefit from my life here on this earth, right? But the fact is, you really need to think about it, especially with crypto, because it is something completely different than what we're used to dealing with in our daily lives. I mean, if you have a pension, that's easy enough. I mean, your pension knows, okay, here's my next of kin. You've given them that information. They'll call, they'll set it up, they'll take care of whatever is going to be happening after you're gone, right? What military VA, benefits, all that stuff, they have on record the person they're supposed to contact in the case of your death, all right? Or they'll be contacted by your next of kin to verify any of that information, okay? Not so in crypto, not even close in crypto. It's all on you while you're alive to be able to set this up with someone who's going to be there when you're gone.
Even your bank would be able to find out your next, they'd be able to find out your next of kin and stuff.
But here's the thing, though. Hopefully, you've set up some type of life insurance policy or something that has that information to where they have access to most of your financial accounts. Okay. And that's why I'm saying with a family trust, you would have a lawyer involved that has access to all this stuff. So if something happened, they just transfer everything over to you.
They'd have the power of attorney and stuff to make those changes. Yep.
Right. So hopefully this is making sense.
Just quickly, the other thing I was kind of thinking about is because I've been looking at making some videos and stuff for my family, just for certain things, memory, whatever like that. But, if something were to happen to me, I want my kids to be able to have some kind of little video of, talking to them or sharing something with them. I don't know, whatever. And, but that came to me, God, how easy is it to make a little clip of this is what I have in here. This is what I have in here. If something happens to me, this is where these papers are. These passwords are all here. Go talk to Vance. This is the information you'll need. He'll be able to help you to transfer, to do whatever,
Right.
And that way they're getting it. That way they're not just finding it, and they got a little bit of instruction with it. So I think that could be a smart thing to do as well. And it's so easy to make a little clip on your phone, put it on the thumb drive, and throw it in there with it,
Yeah, exactly.
So something happens to me, watch this video.
Right. Now, and that's the thing. If you're by yourself, maybe a safe deposit box is the best little thing. But if you have a little safe at home, how are they going to know how to get into that safe at home, or if there's anything even in there? Okay, you got to think about this stuff. So, but just quickly, since we've gone over a little hour tonight, but just quickly think about your situation, how it would benefit you or your family. What do you need to do to get that there? Because who knows what's going to be the value of this stuff in the future? We don't have a crypto ball. Okay. But if it does go up in value and you're not there, someone needs to benefit from that, from your hard work. Because this is work, guys. I mean, you're researching.
We are in it so early. We are in it so early too, Vance, that we have no idea what kind of benefit this could have to future generations. I mean, because we're in it so early.
Right.
Something like this could change our family's lives big time if something were to happen to us. It could. It's just we can't fathom what the benefits might be to them one day.
Right. We can't. So. We don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be in 5 years or 10 years. We're told it's going to be horrendously huge amounts of money, but whether that comes true or not, comes to fruition, we may not be here to find out. So we need to make sure that someone's going to benefit from this later on.
So make sure you do the right thing.
That's right. You have the ability to do the right thing. So
maybe next week we can have a couple more ideas on this or whatever. Think about it.
Post up some things that maybe you've done. Yeah. If you're preparing for your family and things, maybe you've already done some of the stuff. Do it. If not, this is something you should seriously look into. It's almost an urgency. I would almost tell you, you need to feel that urgency in your life to make sure that something's ready for those after you. Okay.
You've got to have it written down on paper or something somewhere and doing something. Because if it's just all on your computer right now and your computer blows up, you're out of luck. You're out of luck. So it's not just death. It could be death to the computer.
Yeah.
It could be a fire. I mean, it's good to have something off site. I mean, it might be nice, if you've got your own safe to have stuff in, but you might want to have a duplicate copy in a little safe or something in, say your family lives in, West Virginia or somewhere else, something that they can kind of keep. There's things to look at because with the private keys and things like that, if you lose something or it's gone, I mean, it's gone. Yeah. It's gone.
There's no way of recovering those. So,
and if you don't believe me, go watch The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, true.
Because Sheldon might hide your Bitcoin from you.
That's right. But the article I read was called The Double Death, right? Or the Double Funeral. The Double Funeral is what it was called. And it was basically the funeral of the person and then the funeral of the crypto because his family couldn't access that $500 million worth of XRP. So think about that. There's 500 million in XRP running around there at 40 cents. Well, whatever it was back in April, whatever the price was
January,
back in
it was $3 or something.
Yeah.
So whatever he died was in April.
He died in April of this year. And at the time it would have been worth $300 million. Okay. So that's why we're telling you, make sure that you're set up.
$300 million gone. $300 million. What does that do for generations?
It was at 68 cents.
Generations and generations.
Yeah.
That money you could have taken care of or done a lot of good with, So
right.
It's not all about just making money and hoarding money. I mean, you guys have real opportunities to invest in this, make good money, and to change your family's life and those around you,
Yeah.
I think that was pretty cool. So.
But anyway, guys, we are not financial advisors. So you're just here along the ride with our perspective on crypto. That's why we're here doing this every Wednesday night. We call it Bitcoin Wednesday. We're here around 8 o'clock my time, but 9 o'clock or was it 9 o'clock Mountain? 9 o'clock Mountain. We do these live, right? We do these live on Facebook, and then we take them, record them, and put them on YouTube. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, like and subscribe. And that way you'll know next time we upload another video, and you can always be in the know.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Vance.
You too.
Hope everybody has a great night. We will see you next week. Same place, same time. We're usually on time. Usually we're a couple of minutes late because that's just the way we roll. So,
but we'll be here. So
yeah, we'll be here. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Vance. Bye.